Yes. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for a video on crypto every single day. My name's Austin. Great to have you guys checking in today. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Let's check out the market. And you know what? Let me refresh for you guys. Right? Let's keep this current. Daily videos from this channel, it should be current. All right, as we can see, the market cap currently sits at $236 billion, which is positive, right? I mean, even over this long weekend, we've seen very slow but very steady growth in the positive direction. And I've actually heard some people say, hey, over this weekend, the markets remain pretty stagnant, but I disagree. The growth is slower, but in my opinion, that's healthier. And actually, over the last 2.5 weeks, we've seen incremental, steady growth. This is the total market capitalization over the last 4 weeks, all the money in the market over the last 4 weeks, and what do we see? Well, we see it was about 3 weeks ago, August 13th, that the market sort of bottomed out, right? We dropped to as low as $191 billion. Right now we're at 235 or 6, we dropped to $192 billion, and since then, we've seen slow, steady growth. And yeah, it's not as volatile as we've been seeing, the last few months, but it's slower and steady, which in my opinion means healthier. I think this slow and steady growth is going to be what we need to see in order, for me personally, to have more confidence that the bull run will happen by the end of the year, which historically it always does. And let me ask you guys something. Right now we're above $230 billion market cap. When was the last time we saw this? Well, the last time we saw a $230 billion market cap was around August 9th, actually. We sort of leveled off here for a short time. Of course, we were on our way down at that time, but it's been about 3.5 weeks since we've been to this level. Of course, the next support line is going to be around $250 billion. If we can see some of this steady growth into and over $250 billion and maintain it, I think that will continue to be very much green flags and bullish confidence signs. But what do you think? I'll be talking to you guys in the comments, but let me share this one more piece of just perspective with you guys. Is all the money flowing out equally? No, it's not. Actually, Bitcoin dominance is back up to 53%. And back up. Actually, in my last video, which was 2 days ago, I don't know if you guys know this, but my brother and I who run this channel, we usually switch off days. He does one, I do one. He does one, I do one. Usually. Doesn't always work out that way. It's a video every day regardless. But either way, last time I did a video, the market cap was at 52.5. Now we're back up above 53, which just shows Bitcoin is receiving the majority of the influx of cash, and a lot of these altcoins, not all of them, sort of a mix between green and red, a lot of these altcoins are being drained farther and farther. Of course, Bitcoin is at 7,200 right now today, continuing to rise. But what do you guys think? Let me ask you guys. I have 3 articles I want to share with you guys, the most current info and updates about today's market. But just a little question, you guys. Are you guys still investing in altcoins? Or are you just putting your money into Bitcoin right now? Or are you hodling? Me, personally, I'm not a financial expert, so make your own decisions. But I've sort of taken out all the positions I'm taking out for the year. But I do have some extra fiat saved right now in case we really dip down, maybe Bitcoin to 5,000. That's just me. I'll be looking forward to see what you guys say in the comments, but let's keep going. Again, like the video if you found any value from this video today. But first article, Ripple CEO says, I don't think we're going to be buying coffee at Starbucks with Bitcoin or XRP anytime soon. Wow, interesting. The CEO, of course, is Brad Garlinghouse, and when he sat down for an interview with Stanford Legal, I don't think anybody expected him to say that XRP will not be used for, i.e., daily transactions or buying a cup of coffee at Starbucks anytime soon. That's very odd for a CEO of a crypto company or any company to say. Usually they all just bootstrap and gung ho their own cryptocurrency. But let's talk about this. Well, in the interview, the podcast hosted by Stanford law professors Pam Karlan and Joe Bankman analyzed the current and future legality and utility of blockchain and cryptocurrency. And on the subject of whether crypto can replace fiat currency, Garlinghouse said he believes fiat currencies in G20 countries are working very well. Just a little side, if you don't know what a G20 country is, they're basically the majority of the first world countries out there, right? The European Union, the United States. He says, right now, fiat currency, it's working fine. In a direct quote, he says, I don't think we're going to be buying coffee at Starbucks with Bitcoin or XRP anytime soon. I think we've got to ask ourselves, what problem is that solving? And he elaborates by saying fiat currency, the US dollar in this case, that works pretty well. So we need to make sure it's better than before we talk about it as a currency. He's basically saying, why would people switch to Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies when the US dollar is fine? What I think about the G20 world, I think fiat currencies work really well, and I don't see a reason that you would, as a consumer in the next 10 years, be using XRP to make consumer payments. Wow. I agree and disagree with what he's saying. First off, I agree that really with a lot of these first world countries, it's going to be slower for that mainstream adoption of cryptocurrency because right now the US dollar, the euro, all these first world fiat currencies, they're relatively stable. Obviously, the US, for example, where I'm coming from, we're in huge amounts of debt. So I think in the longer future, we will see cryptocurrencies be taken over. But really, for first world countries, there's no need at the moment. In my opinion, there is a need in third world countries, like i.e. Venezuela or some of these countries where the government can just print money, cause hyperinflation, and the $100 you would have today, if the government chooses to print more, wow, now it's only worth $1. That's where we're really going to see the daily transactions start and the mainstream adoption start, in my opinion. It's interesting, though, because actually my brother a few days ago did a very simply explained version, just a 10-minute long, simply explained version is Starbucks accepting cryptocurrency? Sort of backed crypto news, where he clearly broke it down exactly what's happening with that. But this is just my opinion. So if you want the full story, head over there. But just in my opinion, in first world countries like the US and such, yes, cryptocurrency will not see mainstream adoption, but like with Starbucks, like with some of these other countries, I think it will be given as an option. Given just as an option, just a little button after at the end of your purchase saying, hey, would you like to pay with, and then maybe the top cryptos of our time. So it's sort of interesting to me that Brad Garlinghouse says for the next 10 years they're not going to use XRP. Really, XRP is more for cross-border payments anyway. Just interesting. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let's keep going. Bitcoin price. Wow, okay, this is interesting. The Bitcoin price is more reliable in 2018, says SFOX exec. That's interesting. The Bitcoin price is more reliable. This is the chart of Bitcoin over the last year. Yeah, hey, looks really reliable. All right, well, let's check this out. Let's hear them out here. Although Bitcoin price and virtually all altcoins dropped during the course of 2018, an optimistic review coming from SFOX, a cryptocurrency prime dealer for large-scale investors. So yes, SFOX, a cryptocurrency prime dealer for large-scale investors, reveals that the market also became more stable this year after Wall Street companies joined the game. Interesting. Let's check this out. The value of Bitcoin, currently at $7,287, used to record oscillations of more than 10% in the course of a week before a year. So it used to oscillate more than 10% up and down over the course of a week before this year. And furthermore, the price of some of these altcoins used to vary by more than 4.5% across exchanges. So first off, if you look at this, over this last year, Bitcoin has definitely seen influxes and defluxes of 10%, and these altcoins definitely more than 5%. We're seeing that now. But just to be very clear, it's not saying the oscillations of individual coins. It is saying that the oscillations between exchanges, across exchanges, it's saying that has become more reliable in 2018. And you know what, he's right. Let's keep going. While these may lure individual investors, so while the oscillations and volatility may lure individual investors, these shifts prevent mainstream adoption, as they had an opposite effect on the rest of the population, who regards cryptocurrency with mistrust. So yes, while this high volatility may attract swing traders and day traders, it's not going to lead to mainstream adoption. But 2018 was a step up, not down, for cryptocurrencies. So when I said across exchanges, it's gotten more secure, first and foremost, the price of digital assets are significantly more stable across trading platforms, with differences of 0.1% or less. As a consequence, this year has seen many trading firms, asset management funds, and even banking institutions join the market. So essentially saying, it was, actually, let me read this one thing before I go on. No, let me say this first. He's essentially saying, let's go to exchanges. Top 100. Essentially what he's saying, the top exchanges, or maybe not even the top ones, just exchanges in general, Bitcoin and altcoins used to be trading at slightly different costs. And I always heard, at least way back in 2014, 2015, before I was really even in the market, I would hear like, oh, you can buy a cryptocurrency on one exchange and just transfer it to another exchange and you would make a profit. And this was all a scam. I would hear just whispers of things like that, which, that would definitely prevent mainstream adoption. But it's basically saying, as the ecosystem matures, Bitcoin and these altcoins are becoming more stable. There's now a less than 0.1% difference, and it's leading the way for mainstream adoption. So just a little positive, a more reliable positive for 2018. Regulations pave the way for mainstream adoptions, and this finishes to say, at the same time, this year has also seen numerous attempts to regulate cryptocurrencies from national governments. And yes, the new legislation did shake the market a bit, but keep in mind that regulation is synonymous with legitimization. So essentially, regulation is a necessary evil. It's synonymous with legitimization. It's going to happen in order to get mainstream adoption. It's going to happen. Hopefully they regulate, they don't ruin anything. Let's keep going. One more article for you guys, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. If you're still with me, like the video, let me know. Let's get into it. New crypto investors should ignore volatility. Hold for 5 years. From Charlie Shrem. This gentleman right here, I'm guessing. Bitcoin advocate Charlie Shrem has said that new crypto investors should not be spooked by the volatility of the asset class, but should rather select a token near the top end of the market and adopt a long-term investment position. Interesting. We'll go on, but just my opinion right off the bat, some of these, if you look back from 2014, if a lot of the top 10 from 5 years ago are no longer on the top 10. So I definitely, I agree with him on Bitcoin, but not necessarily on altcoins. Let's just read on. Learn and have fun with it. I like that. Speaking to Yahoo Finance, Shrem advised against excessive exposure to crypto assets on the part of new investors. So don't be checking every day. You're putting your wealth in these things and they break. Things happen. The value goes down 90%. Then the value goes up 100%. I always tell people, if they want to get into crypto, I always tell people if they want to get into crypto, how much money, if you lost it right now, would you be okay with? Well, some people might say, I'd be okay max losing $500, they tell me. So invest $500 in a basket of crypto and then just have fun with it. Just enjoy it, learn. There's a lot of good ones out there. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Litecoin. Just learn what makes them different. Okay, you know what, I agree with this. And yes, these coins are ones that have lasted for multiple years. Just my 2 cents, I definitely agree with this Bitcoin. If, invest in Bitcoin and forget about it. No use torturing yourself in this volatile market. But, who knows if any of these coins, but especially Ethereum through Litecoin, will continue. They'll be around, but will they continue to be in the top 10 in 5 years? So with more of the altcoins, I would check every 6 months, every year, something like that. But Shrem also advised investors to buy crypto with the aim of holding for 5 years, after which they will have a heightened probability of getting a return. This, he says, is because bulls and bears markets usually occur in 2-year cycles. I don't know if you guys know who Charlie Shrem is, but he used to be in prison. That's right. In July 2016, CCN reported that Shrem was freed from prison following his 2014 conviction for conspiring to sell Bitcoin to users of the illegal marketplace Silk Road. So he was caught selling things on an illegal marketplace. That's why he went to prison. At the time of his arrest and indictment, Shrem was the founder of BitInstant, a crypto exchange that once processed as many as 30% of all Bitcoin in circulation. So he used to be a big player. He sold Bitcoin on an illegal exchange and he got in trouble for it. I don't think that makes him a bad guy. I think that just makes him a risk taker in a sense, in a good way. And really, if we're investing in this market, all of us have a bit of risk inside of us. Since his release, Shrem has co-founded Crypto.iq, a crypto education startup that offers resources, insights, daily newsletters, marketplace access, and text alerts to crypto traders. So he's still a very smart guy, doing good. And I just wanted to bring this to you guys because I agree with him in the Bitcoin sense, but for any altcoins, I'm more of a long-term hodler, and for me, long-term is minimum a year. But whenever we see that next bull run, I will probably take profits. I think we all should. Obviously, do your own thing. But that was it, guys. Let me ask you guys this. Did any of you stay to the end of the video? I hope you did, or do you guys more just like the beginning market check-ins? Let me know in the comments, just because, I like to calibrate what we do on this channel for you guys. We're all invested in this space together. Let's keep this community effort. Alright guys, my name's Austin, this is Altcoin Daily, and we'll see you tomorrow.